part of the rotation. How did the first day go for you?
Yeah, for me personally, it was good. I thought I had a lot of energy on both sides of the ball, and it just feels good kind of get back in the swing of things. We got a really good group here. The intensity was high. The new coaching staff did a great job keeping us organized, so it was a good day, good first day.
Did you get a couple opportunities with purple team?
Yeah, we had a little bit of back and forth between purple and gray, so it was good to get after the ball.
Being organized, structure, those have been buzzwords that JJ's used. You just used it right there.
Yeah.
What did that look like in the summer, and what did it look like in the first inning?
I think we're just really efficient with our time. Start times and finish times are always, on time. We're not going long, we're not going short, and we're not starting late. So everything's efficient with what we do. Every drill's got a certain set amount of time that we're upholding, and I think the discipline overall and kind of just the energy that we have within our group workouts and now in our first practice as well.
With playing time being sporadic for you the last couple of years, how were you able to know yourself, like, that you were getting better? Like, what were the signs of improvement when you were looking around you?
Yeah, I mean, it was really just working behind the scenes, to be honest. I mean, staying engaged during games mentally, getting those mental reps in, even if I'm not physically out there. And then obviously when we're in these practice settings, coming back at night, doing extra work so I can stay in shape and obviously stay ready for when my time comes.
Max, JJ and LeBron both talked about you guys having your team meeting last night, that you guys went over your identity on both sides of the ball. What was the value of that meeting as a group?
Yeah, it was kind of the first time that we all really got together as a team in one setting. JJ and the staff had a big presentation for us about kind of like team values, ground rules, all sorts of stuff kind of just to start the season so we can kind of wrap everybody around an identity that we want to have as a team, so we're one, coherent unit. So I thought it was really good. I thought it was very productive for us as a team, kind of getting together, everybody seeing each other's faces, in one room, so it was good.
Did you do that here?
No, we were in Beverly Hills.
Even though you're still one of the younger guys, have you found yourself as kind of mentoring, the rookies and such, now that you have some experience?
Yeah, like you said, I am pretty young still, but this is year 3 for me, so I do feel pretty experienced. Like you said, we got a bunch of young guys on the team that I think I can kind of help, pull along, give them some advice and just kind of help them out. But I do feel a lot more comfortable out here, obviously this being my 3rd training camp, so I'm a lot more comfortable than I have been in previous years.
Max, it is your first year, or first practice, I should say.
Yeah.
What stands out about JJ and kind of the way that he coaches, the way that he sets up a practice, still early here?
I think, again, the biggest thing is we've been super organized and we've been super good at kind of like upholding discipline at times. We're having a set amount of time for a drill. We're not going long, we're not going short, and we're being really efficient with our time. That's kind of been a key word he's been using for everybody throughout the whole offseason, is being efficient with our time when we're in here, whether it's a high day like today or a low day, making sure we're still coming in, we're focused and being efficient with the drills we're doing, with the talk teachers that we're doing too, so it was a good first day.
Max, in light of you returning and JJ's enthusiasm about what you bring to the table, what does kind of this season look like for you?
Yeah. I think for me it's kind of just proving myself again. I think I said it on media day yesterday that I haven't proved too much as a player in this league. I've had spurts and sporadic moments where I've been really good, but I want to put a whole season together. Hopefully, I get the opportunity to do that this year. So that's really all this. That's where I get my motivation from, is just trying to prove myself this year to myself and then to everybody else.
Was it one thing or several things besides your 2 good ones?
Just fundamentals and then several things in terms of, my weight, my athleticism, and then obviously 3-point shooting is probably a big skill for me to have on this team, and then conditioning too. Picking up full court, crashing the offensive glass, being a great defender. So pretty much everything.
That's a lot, yeah.
You got to do it.
All right, thanks, Mike.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
You guys have been here for a couple months getting ready and preparing. How was it on your end and your staff, your first official day of practice?
I would say our preparation bore fruit. It was a very productive day. I thought our guys came with a really high level of focus and intent, and all of the things that we've talked about over the last 6 to 8 weeks and the things that we talked about yesterday were reflected in how we played basketball today. There's a lot of good things to take away from today.
Were you able to compete a little bit today as well?
We did. We played some live for the last about 45 minutes, and we scrimmaged. We had 3 all-quarter scrimmages, 5-on-5. So, liked a lot of the stuff I saw.
JJ, did you find yourself trying to do maybe too much the first time out? I only ask because I talked to Steve Curry, he said his first practice was a shit show. His work. And you tried to do too much. Your first official practice.
I didn't feel like I did too much. We from the beginning with each coach, we have been very clear with roles and responsibilities. Part of me being a head coach is empowering my assistants, and so I think I have a good feel for when to use my voice and when not to use my voice. And luckily, I have two very talkative coaches in Bob Byer and Greg St. Jean. So I know my voice will be fine by the end of the week. I'm worried about those two. So hopefully they're hydrating.
But was everybody a full participant other than Vando and Christie?
Cam Reddish was not. And I believe we had one other guy. I'm going to have to look at my list. I'm sorry. Jordan Goodwin has got a little bit of a hamstring tweak, but he should be back in action hopefully next week. But he's going to miss the first few days of camp. But he was great in our workouts in September, and he will be part of our camp at some point.
Coach, when it comes to those scrimmages and the lineups that kind of you allowed them to compete a little bit, who stood out to you and impressed you today?
There was a lot of guys that had some good moments, to be honest with you. It's hard to just single one guy out. We did mix the lineups a little bit. I want to start seeing different combinations. We don't have a ton of time, obviously, before our first preseason game, and with 6 preseason games and all of them on the road, we have to be very cognizant of how we use our time here in practice, particularly here in LA when we're not traveling. So we were able to mix in some lineup stuff. Jalen got a shot with the purple team and played really well. Max Christie is a guy who's earned our coaching staff's trust over the last 2 months. So he got some time with the purple team as well. But a lot of good stuff. Jackson Hayes, one of the scrimmages, was fantastic. And then obviously the usual suspects, we kind of overlooked them sometimes, but I thought D'Lo, AR, Rui, LeBron, AD all had some really good moments as well.
JJ, generally, when do you think it is best for you to use your voice and when it isn't, and what's the thought process?
Within a practice?
Yeah.
Well, within a practice, there are certain things that I'm in charge of. There are certain things that Bob Byer's in charge of. There are certain things that Greg's in charge of. Obviously, when we scrimmage, I'm coaching the purple team. We drew up, starting scrimmage, we drew up 3 ATOs. Success rate was pretty good, 66.7. The only miss was just a little bit off the rim, but we got a clean look and we executed it. So I thought overall, again, it goes back to the intent, the focus. Whoever is talking to the coaches, us all of delivering that with the same language and the same message, and getting buy-in, whether it's a drill, a scrimmage, a live action, we did some transition stuff, we did some 5-on-5, so it was all really good.
We know you're guys starters, you shared that with us. What is the position, I guess, off the bench where there's you guys have more contentious open competition?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of guys that are going to have a chance to play. And like I said, I think beyond the obvious guys, Gabe Vincent, Jared Vanderbilt when he's healthy, Jackson Hayes, Max, Cam, Jalen. I know I'm forgetting someone. It's been a very long day, but there's a lot of guys that are going to compete for spots. I've always sort of envisioned a 9-man rotation in the regular season. So there's definitely some competition for that 9th spot.
You told, I believe it was Spectra, that you guys were going to be meeting up yesterday in the evening to kind of go over your goals for the season as a group.
Identity.
What was that meeting like?
It was good. The reason I did that, one of the things that I'm big on is just using time efficiently. I haven't been around LeBron a ton, but I know that's big for him as well. And I think as any NBA player will tell you, they really value their time. And I did not want to take time today to have some long meeting. So I used last night as a meeting to just set the tone for who we're going to be on both ends of the floor and the things that we're going to value as a group, and that's really what last night was about.
What do you hope that looks like once
preseason games?
Look, I think with 3 preseason games and the fact that LeBron and AD were playing USA basketball, Rui played for Japan. He traveled a bit in September. D'Lo, traveled a bit. So those guys haven't been in the gym a ton for our player development work and our smaller group workouts in September. LeBron and AD were very consistent post September 15th, let's say, the last 2 weeks. Like, it's going to take some time to get some of that organization and structure. We're really trying to simplify things this week in terms of how we want to play offensively and what our base coverages are defensively. As we sort of build that out, then you start game planning. I don't know that we'll be game planning a ton in preseason, to be honest with you. It'll be more about what we're doing and the habits we're building than it is about trying to attack something specifically or trying to defend something specifically.
Was this what you thought it would be the first time of that?
I've done this before. I've done this many times. Anybody got anything else?
Technically, this first official day, staff, a couple months of preparation from your guys' vantage point, the players. How was it?
Great day. Great first day.
What were some of the things you guys got? You said you guys competed a little bit.
Yeah, did a little bit of everything, but just getting our system put in, and going on and implementing it. And just very detailed oriented, and we gotta be every single day in order for us to get better.
How much dialogue did you have with JJ over the summer about that system?
Not much. I had some other things to accomplish, with Team USA, so I didn't really have the time to really lock in with JJ. And right after that, I went on vacation. It was just random texts from here and there, kind of talking about it, but not much diving in until we got back here.
You could have to pick it up quickly, but how can the group pick it up faster?
It's a collision course for all of us. We're all learning on the fly, so you pick each other up, talk each other through it, and go out and implement it to a simulated situation where we're going on and playing, competing 5-on-5, or if we're just scripting 5-on-0, whatever the case may be. So every day is an opportunity for us to get better.
LeBron, to your point about how detail-oriented JJ is with practice, what's your expectations of what that can do and how do you impact?
Don't have any expectations. I think that's unfair to put any expectations on us right now. The only thing that we can count on each other is how we come to practice and come to work every day and trust the process and get better every day, and that's what it's about.
Has a decision been made about what games we'll play in the preseason, especially this week in Palm Springs?
No, I don't think so.
JJ said that last night you guys met up to discuss your identity on both sides of the ball. What was the value of that meeting as a team?
Just setting the standard, setting the course of action, how we expect to play every single night. No matter who's playing, it's not about who's playing. It's about what we want to do every night. We want to play the same way every single night.
Anything left to accomplish? Pretty much check the all process.
Is there anything left for me to accomplish as a basketball player? No. Everything else is extra credit. I'll take it. Though. I love it. I love what I do. But I don't need to. No, I got everything.
LeBron, there probably isn't much. Go ahead, PT.
What excited you about today's practice coming here? You've been doing this for a long time.
It's first day of school. Lay your clothes out at night, the day before. You get your fresh kicks. Everybody got their fresh kicks the day before the first day of school, so that's always exciting. Everybody's excited about the first day of school.
There probably isn't much in terms of system or schemes that you haven't seen at this point. So once you kind of link with JJ, how much do you assert yourself as also kind of leading, teaching on the court with the players, or do you just let the coaches do that?
No. I'm a lead by example, lead by my voice. My voice is very commanding, and but I'll be an extension of the coaching staff, on the floor. But right now we're getting our system put in place. And not only JJ's voice is being heard, all the other coaches' voices being heard. We just all taking it in and trying to dial it in and get better with it on the floor.
And then the starting lineup, I think when Rui started, it was 18-6 to close the season.
Yep.
Are there things that you still want to evolve into this year with that group, or like what carries over and what needs to be sharper?
We're familiar with one another, and we like that group. So I think Coach said it from day one what the starting lineup is going to be. So now we know what it is, and we got to get better through our practices, continue to work each other's habits, continue to get better with one another, and then implement it to the floor whenever we get out there.
LeBron, LeBron, there's been a lot of talk about the offense and the excitement on that spot, shooting more threes. But, yesterday Anthony Davis mentioned being a top 5 defense, and that starting 5 being a top 5 defense. What does it take to consistently be a top 5 defensive team in this league?
Hold each other accountable, help each other, demand more out of each other. Last year we was horrific in transition defense. We got to be a lot better than that. We were pretty good in half court, but we got to get our asses back. If we're not crashing, we got to get back on the raise of the ball, and I think that'll help out a lot defensively.
Last 3. How would you assess LeBron's
Play any rookie, trying to learn as much as you can. Try to get better. When you get the opportunity to go out and do what the coaching staff want them to do. It was successful for all of them, not only Bronny, but the rest of the group as well.
How did it feel to be out there for official practice?
That's amazing.
Last question.
LeBron, JJ talked about a lot of competition between that 6, 7, 8, 9 spot. Max Christie's a name that keeps coming up and building a lot of trust over the last couple months with the staff. How did you look at that?
Fantastic. I think Max should be a big part of our rotation. He's gotten better and better, and I'm happy we was able to bring him back in the summertime. I look forward to a bright future for him.